Okay. Just a second, please. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So, our learning objectives today are going to be touching upon introduction to healthcare analytics or data analytics in healthcare, the types of healthcare analytics, the data, healthcare analytics data sources, the role of a healthcare analyst, where healthcare analysts can work, the skills that they should have, the tech stack, and an overview of the healthcare analytics project. So here we're wondering what, like, data analytics in healthcare, what is it about? So rather than going on saying data analytics in healthcare, you could just call it healthcare analytics. And it basically involves the systematic use of data analysis techniques, techniques in data analysis, borrowing them into the field of healthcare so that you can derive valuable insights from your healthcare data. And the ultimate aim here is to optimize the outcomes for patients, to streamline the operations of the organization, to enable the efficient allocation of resources, and to improve the quality of healthcare that is being delivered overall. So we come here to look at the importance of data analytics in healthcare, following all that story that we've just talked about. So we mentioned improving decision making, right? Then we look at enhancing the quality of healthcare, streamlining operations, reducing costs, efficient resource allocation, and optimizing patient outcome. So, for instance, if we look at let's say we want to talk about how data analytics can be used to improve decision making in healthcare. For instance, I don't know if there's anyone who has worked in care here before. There's always instance of, oh, probably we don't have enough staff on ground and we need staff to come in. Maybe somebody called in sick, or they suddenly found out that the staff rotation was not complete for the day, or was not enough for the day. And then they start running helter-skelter trying to look for staff to come fill in, or reach out to agencies to have staff fill in. So if data analytics is used appropriately or employed in such an organization, you can easily tell when your staffing is going to be short and make plans ahead to ensure that even you have adequate staff on ground, and also have people on rotation just in case you have insufficient staff, or somebody calls in sick for the day. You get. So looking at cost reduction as well. Um looking at cost reduction, we can say you keep spending say an organization, maybe a GP practice, keeps spending money, spending money, spending money. They have all the receipts, but if you do not, if this data is not collected, you understand, and evaluated over a time period, how much have we spent, how much revenue did we generate, they would not be able to tell. Maybe they're running at a loss, or they're making making profit, or be able to tell what aspects of their operations consume more of their funds. You understand? So data analysis in this regard, or in when introduced to healthcare, helps you to spotlight a lot of how do I put it? It helps you to spotlight your activities, and help you to know areas where you can make improvements. So optimize patient outcomes, for instance. Now, we look at how it can be long before people can get GP appointments. So when we use data, we can always we can implement like we can tell what is the wait time before a person can get an appointment with a GP. And we can come to look at it, okay, how can we improve it so that we reduce the wait times so that people don't wait for too long? Because a person might be in a situation where they need to see the doctor within a short period of time. And then imagine them having to wait for up to like 6 months to get a GP appointment, right? I once stumbled upon the case of a lady. She said she has endometriosis and she needed to see her GP, but she wasn't due for an appointment until like in a year's time. And you wonder why. Is it that our health is it that our health is not that important to the healthcare provider or what? But it's just the inefficiency in the ability to schedule appointment times within reasonable time frame so that the patient can get the optimum care that they require at that point in time. And efficient resource allocation, the organization may be investing too much money in one area while another area needs more funding, but they're not getting that. And they don't know until they look into the data. So when they're able to look into the data of how their funds are disbursed or their operation words or how the hospital beds are being allocated and all of that, they'll be able to tell, oh, we can make, they'll be able to adjust their resource allocation in different aspects of their operations so that they can deliver more efficiently to those that require their services. So here we're looking at the types of healthcare analytics, and this we have 4 types. We have the descriptive analytics, we have the diagnostic analytics, we have the predictive analytics, and we have the prescriptive analytics. So when we talk about descriptive analytics, we're trying to look at historical data, the data that has been given to the and that has been supplied to the organization already. So we're trying to like ask, okay, from this data, can we discover what happened? So let's say we are looking a certain say a certain GP is experiencing high admission rates. A lot of people are coming in and they need to be admitted. And you're wondering what could have happened. You understand? So you want to look at the data that has already been provided. Like, okay, what could be causing this high admission rate? You get like okay, so we're looking at what could be causing this high admission rate. I want to look at the patient records. Do they have an underlying disease? Or is there something that is going on that is not from the patient, that maybe it is an external factor that is resulting in the high admission rates that the hospital is experiencing? I don't know. Does this make sense? Could somebody can unmute yourself and tell me if you're following along or I have lost you here? Hello?
It's making sense. Yeah, we're following.
All right. Anybody else?
It's fine. Retrospective analysis.
Okay. So,
Yes, it's fine here too. Thank
all
you.
right. All right. So, looking at this, so you first of all, you want to analyze the patient's records. Like, okay, this patient that is always coming in on admission, is this the first time? What is the frequency of this patient always returning for admission or always coming in and having to be admitted? Now, if the case is high, you want to look at an external factor. Say, okay, this kind of thing has never happened before. So what is causing it? So you want to check, okay, is there a flu in town? Is there something else that could be influencing this? So you have to look at the data that you have. Okay, let's say this time of let's say we're in the month of September, and this September there's a high admission record. As a data and as a healthcare analyst, you could go back to up to say 5 years, look at the trend, look at patient records, look at admission records for the month of September, is that a new occurrence, or it has always been something that has happened? It has always been like that. That's a trend. You understand? So that is another angle to look at it from. So when we look at diagnostic analysis, we are looking at why did it happen? We're looking at why did it happen? You understand? So the descriptive analysis tells us, okay, what happened? So the diagnostic analysis, we're looking at why did it happen? So what is the reason for the readmission rates? For instance, say we're having readmission. Initially, we were talking about admissions and people being admitted for the first time or somebody being readmitted again. But this time we're looking at, say, let's say a particular patient or a particular group of patients they come back and probably they're being readmitted too frequently beyond normal. You understand? So you want to look at it, okay, could it be that this person has an underlying disease that could be influencing the readmission rates? Could it be that this person has been exposed to something? So the diagnostic analytics is all about why. You're looking for the root cause of an occurrence. So in the predictive analytics, you want to be able to tell what is going to happen in the future. You understand? So this will require the use of like a machine learning, predictive. You want to look at machine learning methods for you to be able to predict something that would happen in the future. You understand? So let's say maybe like during the COVID occurrence, the hospital spent certain amount of money on medications or on recruiting more staff or on supplies generally. And then you want to you want to find out that, okay, should such an epidemic break out, what would it cost the hospital, looking at looking at what has happened, how much they spent during that season. So let's say, God forbid, but say something like that happens in the next 2 years, and we want to use the data from now to determine how to prepare if it ever happens again, and how to stock up supplies, medical personnel, like to make the operations more efficient, to be able to cater for it. So in the prescriptive analytics, we look at what should be done. What can we do? We already know what has happened. We know why it happened and what will happen. So what should we do? What are the ways to be able to address the situation or the current organizational challenge that has presented itself? And for instance, let's say there's a disease or we're trying to recommend treatment. I would use the AI, the wearables like your smartwatch that takes your heart measurements, that can tell if somebody is experiencing, say, high blood pressure. You understand? It can take your heart rate, or what's it called? For women, with respect to women health, we have softwares or applications that help you to track your ovulation, that help you to track your menstruation. You understand? So it can tell you that, oh, you've missed your period. It could be that you're pregnant. You should go see you should go see your GP. You should take this test. You should do this. You should do that. So such devices, that is using after collecting data about your health, is now making recommendations, which helps your GP to be able to treat you more adequately. Now, if for instance, if you are not using an ovulation app or the menstruation app, you will not know if there's something wrong with your period, or maybe your ovulation is not normal because you've not been tracking it, you've not been collecting the data. You understand? Or you're not using something like a smartwatch where your heart rate is being monitored regularly. You may not know when you become at risk. You understand? But with the use of these things that these devices or these applications that consistently collect data, they can warn you ahead of time when they see when there is an abnormality in the data that has been analyzed. Like it can signal that a warning that something could happen or you should look into an aspect of your health. So that is where prescriptive analytics comes in with respect to using AI models or recommending treatment or interventions. Does this make sense, please? Hello?
Yes, it does make sense. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to be sure that I'm not overwhelming you with details and I'm moving at your pace. So that is why I'm consistently asking questions, and I would ask questions at interval to be sure that you're following along.
Sure. I'm following. It's not too much details. Thank you.
Okay. So we wonder, okay, if we're to analyze healthcare data, where do we get data from? So this here shows the various sources of healthcare data. They are not limited, but they're not limited to this, but here you can have here we have sources of the data that can be analyzed for different purposes. So that you collect data for one reason. So the goal of collecting the data would determine where you're collecting your data from and what you want to use your data for. So for laboratories, it could be that they're testing a drug. You could get data on on drug testing or clinical trials from laboratories to check to maybe you want to analyze the effectiveness of a drug, maybe a new drug. You want to see how effective it is. You have to collect data from the groups that the groups that the drug was tested on for you to be able to analyze that, oh, this drug was effective or this drug was not effective. Then you can also get okay, like I mentioned earlier, you have the devices here that check your heart rate, collect data. You have the ones that collect data about your ovulation, your menstruation, and a lot. I think now they're currently working on an app that is useful for women that are approaching menopause or in menopause. They educate and collect data about the person's health. And also, you get data from the hospital. Say you want to analyze readmission rates, you want to analyze how much the hospital is spending on their operations. You want to analyze data on staff efficiency. You want to analyze data on the patient satisfaction rates. That's given that the hospital has a platform for patients to be able to rate them on the service that they deliver. You also have health agencies like the World Health Organization, who where you can get data from. You have the CDC. You have I would say the NHS too falls under this health agency because they also provide public data for utilization. And you have senior homes, care homes. You want to know say how many patients have been admitted into care home that are probably managing one illness or another, say dementia or any other kind of illness. So you can get the statistics or all these data. You can get the data, the raw data from these senior homes, and they also tend to partner with researchers to carry to carry out research on all these illness, and all of these things require data. So there are also clinical trials where you can get data from. You have genetics, and you as an individual, when you go to the pharmacy, you go to your GP, you're supplying them data. You're supplying them data. Maybe you go to collect your prescription. They can analyze how many times you've come to collect your prescription or how many times people request that prescription so that they know when to restock and how much to stock. There's also payers and claims. here. So like the for payers and claims here, the healthcare analysts would look at financial data to be able to prevent fraudulent claims, to ensure that the correct amount is being paid out, if at all. You understand? So you want to ensure that the process is accurate, if you get what I mean there. And then your pharmacies as well. So we're looking at the healthcare analyst roles and duties. As a healthcare analyst, you'll be responsible for collecting data. You're responsible for preparing data. You're responsible for modeling and managing data. And you have to know where to source your data from. And that was why we touched upon the sources of your data. Depending on the problem that you're trying to address, you would have to know where to source to go for your data. If what the issue at hand at that point in time is how do I put it? If the issue at hand is to analyze how the satisfaction of patients using your service, you have to know where to get the data from. You understand? If it you have to know where to get the data from. If it is from clinical trials, you have to know where to be able to source your data from. If it's about medications, you have to know where you have to source your data from. So with respect to data preparation just basically talks about the behind the scenes of how you prepare your data for analysis. So no, data is in many cases not clean. And when we talk about clean, we're talking about data having errors. You have missing data. Most times you have blank spaces. You have spelling errors. The entry mode can be different. Let's say somebody wants to enter, like in your data table, the location is Aberdeen. Some people can use the short code ABZ. Some people can put AB ABER, like ABBA, just put it in different formats. And if you carry on to analyze your data like that without ensuring that your data is properly prepared, you will end up with errors in your data. So you have to know how to clean your data. So is it a categorical data? Is it a numeric data? You have to know the different approaches on how to address your data cleaning process to ensure that it is ready for analysis, because the quality of your data greatly influences your results. If you work with a dirty data and you don't clean it properly, you get a rubbish result. You understand? But if you do good work and you clean your data as you should, then you would have good quality results. And with respect to modeling, data modeling simply entails understanding the relationships between your data tables. So how does one data table relate to another? Let's assume that, you have a table where you have just patient data. You have another table where is about patient medication, then another table about who prescribes the medication. You have to understand how these tables are linked together in your database so that you can adequately or you can efficiently extract information from your database. Now, with respect to data management, here you're looking at ensuring that your data is secure. You understand? So, with respect, so in ensuring that your data is secure, you control access to the data. So the data that somebody in the admin department would have access to will be different from the data that the maybe how do I put it? Okay, somebody in the admin department would have access to will be different from the one that the senior management or the business the major stakeholders, like the decision makers, have access to. So each person each person uses data in a different way, and so they don't have to have access to the whole data. So you're going to be involved in access control, ensuring that the people that need specific data have access to that data with the right authorization, and also the reports. Now, with respect to the data analysis, you'll be analyzing a lot of data, and you need to understand how to go about this, know when to use your descriptive analysis, know when to use your diagnostic analysis, know when to use your prescriptive analysis and your predictive analysis to address the business situation. Now, when we talk about visualization, we're talking about bringing your data to life through charts, through graphs, because after analyzing your data, you cannot just there are different mediums to present your data, and the stakeholders you want to be presenting your data to may not have they don't have all the time to just sit down and start, okay, what is this, this or that. So you want to create a dashboard. Mostly we use dashboards. So you want to create a dashboard that at a glance, once they see the visualization or your graphs or charts, they can easily spot what message you are trying to pass. Then with respect to reporting, after you've created your dashboard visualization, the stakeholders may require you to send them a report. And the kind of report you'll be sending to the decision makers will be different from if you're a data analyst, you are submitting a report to your technical head. The formats will be different. The technical head will be more involved in, okay, what steps did you carry out to analyze your data? They will be more interested in the technical details. But for a business, for the decision makers, they want to see, okay, the data you've analyzed, how does it answer our questions? How does it address the challenges that we have at the moment? You understand? How does this data, what insight did you gather from the data? How is this data going to, or how did the insights you gather, how will it improve our how will it improve our patient satisfaction? How will it help us to reduce costs? So your report has to be tailored. So you have to know when to present a kind of report to somebody. The report you give to somebody in probably say the marketing department will be different from the report you give to somebody in the financial department of your organization. So after reporting your data, it is also important that you know how you're not just analyzing data, because what is the essence of analyzing your data if it is not adding value to your organization or addressing challenges or addressing the challenges that they're facing? So when you analyze data, you have to be able to make recommendations. Okay, based on the insights that we got from the data, we believe that this, and that can be done to address the situation, right? So let's say the challenge they have is that, okay, a lot of patients are always coming in. Oh, sorry. A lot of patients are coming in and there are insufficient beds. So how can they manage this situation? You want to analyze your data. Okay, see what is the situation. Why can't we have enough beds? How can we manage the bed allocation such that we can have more room to accommodate more patients? Or how can we space out patient appointments so that we do not have so many patients that will not be able to cater to? So from your data analysis, you should be able to provide recommendations and improvements for your organization. And then collaboration. A data analyst does not work alone. You would have a lot of, like, you'll be working with a cross-functional team or cross-functional teams generally. So you don't work in isolation in most cases. So you have to be looking forward to collaborate with the financial department. You look forward to collaborating with the the decision makers. Look forward to collaborate with the um, other health organizations that may be requiring data from you, so that you can help the process can go smoothly. And then know when to apply your predictive and statistical models to address critical healthcare concerns like cost reduction, like I mentioned earlier. So we're looking at where healthcare analysts can work, and they're not limited to just working in hospitals alone. They can work in healthcare companies. They can work with medical laboratories. They can work with health insurance companies, pharmaceutical companies, public health organization like World Health Organization, NGO. They can work with healthcare charities like the Cancer Research UK, British Heart Foundation, and so on. And for people who decide to pursue a career in healthcare analytics, the role title will not always come as a healthcare analyst. It can come in different formats. And here on the screen, we have the different formats that it can come in. So it could be outrightly stated that they want a healthcare analyst. They could say they want a health data analyst, a clinical data analyst, population health analyst, health intelligence analyst. All these terminologies are just referring to the same thing that we all know. But sometimes we might be so focused on looking at just a particular term and miss out on other opportunities where a person qualifies. So here we're talking about the healthcare analyst skills. So there are two categories of skills, the technical skills and the non-technical skills. So we want to look at as a healthcare analyst, you should be able to source for data. That's collect data, process your data, and model your data. And I've touched on this earlier. The processing is also what you call your data cleaning or data preparation. Then you also have to know how to do your data analysis, your prescriptive analysis, your descriptive analysis, your diagnostic analysis, and the predictive analysis. You also have to know how to do make visualizations and report your findings to the relevant stakeholders. You have to know how to make recommendations and improvement from your data. It's not just about analyzing data alone or knowing how to use visualization tools. And then you also have to know how to manage your data. And sometimes you might have there will be someone in charge of the data management, and you are just analyzing data. You understand? But most times, depending on the organization, these roles may not be they may not be separated. You may be required to manage the data and also do the data processing, the data analysis, and take on the data analysis responsibilities. It is also very, very essential that one familiarizes oneself with the healthcare domain knowledge. You have to know about the processes in the healthcare sector that you want to go into and familiarize yourself, because with this, you're able to identify the key metrics that matter. You know what to do, or if something is happening and there's no, excuse me, there's no data explanation for it. You can easily think outside the box to figure out, okay, in the healthcare sector, this and this and this can lead to that, to this. And this could be a reason why this is affecting, because sometimes your data may not reflect an external factor. It can only just point you to identify that something is abnormal. And then you have to now look at external factors to understand why it is so. You have to have programming skills. And we'll come to that when we get to the healthcare analytics tech stack. For the non-technical skills, we want to look at attention to details. Basically, I would normally refer to this as soft skills, because beyond having technical skills, the soft skills are really, really essential. So I want to look at being able to pay attention to details. You have to be able to spot patterns spots patterns, spots abnormalities in your line of work. So oftentimes you may embark on a research or on an on an analytics task, and you find out that the what you thought is not it, or it's not all good, it's all bad. You have to be able to spot it that something is wrong, or maybe it's all good and there's something that is not there, and you have to be able to spotlight things that are not normal and those that are normal, and marry them together for you to be effective in your work. And communication skills, you have to report everything, good, bad, whether it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. You have to learn to share with your colleagues. That's your people in your IT team, the relevant colleagues. You have to be able to share your findings with them, seek a second opinion. You have to be able to ask for help because it is very essential. While you might be drowning in a task because you are missing something, your colleague might have encountered such before and be able to easily spot it out for you, like, oh, I think this is what you're missing. And if you don't share that or you don't communicate, you might just be there being ineffective at your job. And also communicate your findings as well. Then you have to be a critical thinker, be able to solve problems. Continuous learning is very, very essential. That you took a training, you went to a boot camp, you got a degree or you got a certificate in a particular course that is relevant to the field, does not mean that your learning ends there. The world technology keeps adapting, skills keep evolving, the world keeps changing. So it's a continuous learning process. The learning never stops. You have to continue learning. You have to be willing to continue learning. And should be told, I can admit that it can be very intensive, overwhelming, and time consuming, but it is what it is. We have to keep learning. And then the collaborative skills, have to know how to collaborate with others, share, be able to share relevant information with them when they need it, and also be able to bring your expertise to the table when it's needed. So the tech stack here just basically refers to tools that healthcare analysts use. So for data processing and machine learning, we have programming languages such as Python or R. Python and R. So you can either use Python or R. Well, most organizations use Python because it's more flexible. So it will be to your advantage to learn how to analyze data in with Python. Then we have the structured query language, popularly called SQL or SQL. So this is a programming language used to query databases for large organizations. They use SQL to query their database. So you have to know how to use you have to be familiar with these programming languages so that you can easily query a database and provide the relevant information when when required. And then there's Excel for organizations that are not so big, that are not so big, you have to still know how to use your basic Excel because most organizations don't use SQL. Like probably an organization that is just starting out, their data may not be that much, and they still maintain their data or process their data using Excel. So you also have to know how to use Excel. Then for visualization, there's Power BI, there's Tableau. So you use them to create your dashboards for reporting. And then for the predictive modeling, you have statistical and AI-based models So for these AI-based models, the statistical models, you have your linear regression, you have the logistic regression. So there are a lot of models out there, but I'm not going to overwhelm you with that because it's a progressive, it's a progressive phase. But at least you know how to carry out your exploratory data analysis, like how to check for your mean, median, mode, using your Python or R to for your data analysis, your predictive modeling. Sorry. So we have scalable healthcare solutions. Most organizations these days, they store their data in the cloud. So you have to also familiarize yourself with cloud platforms. Although if you know how to use one, you get the general concept and you'll be able to apply it to other cloud platforms, even though there are slight variations. So among these cloud platforms, we have Amazon Web Services, we have Azure, we have BigQuery. BigQuery is by Google. So it depends on the one that the organization is using because it doesn't just make sense to learn everything, but you may just want to familiarize yourself with the common ones that organizations use, which could be either BigQuery or Azure. Then you have automation and enhancement tools. So with automation tools, what it does is it just saves you time. Instead of starting your process all over, you just you like you your process is stored and then you just apply it and it does it in a lesser time compared to if you have to start your analysis or your if you have to start your analysis from the scratch. So this involves the use of generative AI tools like Tableau GPT, your Power BI Copilot. So this is like having your Chat GPT inside your visualization tools. And for people that have used macros or Office scripts in Excel, it's similar to that, where you just run you use your Office script to record your process and maybe you have to enter new data. You just run your Office scripts. That's in Excel. You run your Office scripts and then it repeats the process. So you use your automation for processes that you do continuously. So a process that you repeat all the time, you want to automate the process so that you don't have to start from the beginning every time. So with that said, this is an example of a dashboard. So you can create this using Excel. You can create this using your Tableau or Power BI. So I would like everyone to be unmuted so that you can share your insights about what you understand from this dashboard based on what we've discussed so far. Who would go first?
Yes, I can go first. Thank you so much. Let me add context to it. We thanks for our resource person. It is next week we are going to do the practical. We're going to build something like this, but we just feel like showing what it's going to look like, all of that. So for me, the first thing I can see is that this dashboard is showing the total number of patients. That is data set that be 12,244, right? That's
Yes.
14. Then I'm also seeing the gender, male versus female. Male higher than the female. Yep. I don't know the average duration of stay, but those are two things I quickly see from this stuff.
Thank you.
Go back to us before I call all our names one by one. What can we see so that
So I would appreciate if
I can.
okay. All right, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Sorry. Thank you very much, Queen. I can see the geographical distribution between the urban areas and the rural areas, and it shows that in the urban area, it is 76.83%. Yeah, which is higher than the distribution. This is distribution of patients, right? Yes. Yes, admission in the rural area, meaning that in the urban area, obviously, which is very obvious. There are more patients that go into admission. And what I understand from that is that most likely people from the urban area from the rural area actually go to the urban areas for treatment. So that kind of to me explains somehow why the rural area distribution of patient admission is lower than that of the urban area. Just
Thank you.
and just me thinking wide. I see others,
Oh,
but let other people have a go.
thank you so much for your insight. I really appreciate. Who is next,
O-
please?
Okay, if I might add, looking at the type of admission, we have emergency admission higher in percentage, which is about 72%, while compared with is it OPD now? I can't see
Yes,
clearly.
outpatients
OPD,
department.
outpatient department. And this data was taken between April 2017 and March 2019.
That's lovely.
Okay. Age distribution, we have, looking at the age distribution, we have older people, more, they're ranging between 63, forming the highest population in age distribution, more than 600 um, patients, I would say. And why we have it fluctuates down, coming down to 60. So you have more older people um, within the brackets of people that present themselves as patients, considering the data being analyzed. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. Um, okay, that's all I can pick from here now.
Thank you. Who's next?
Mhm.
Anybody else
Let's
wants to
talk.
go?
I'll mentioning our names one by one.
Duration by age group, or duration of stay by age group. I can see that I have a lot of the older, because I see spike above 10 by people that are very old. Okay, and also a bit of a spike between the age 29, age 20, and then between 80 and 100. That's a bit of spike also. I can see that. Then okay, that duration of ICU, I can also see I say sharp 4. Okay, after third age of 100. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? Hello, anybody
I
else?
can see also average duration of stay, 6
Mm-hmm.
days. Uh, duration of stay 6, which means the a number 6 people maybe have longer stay in the hospital.
Okay. Anybody else wanting to go? Hello.
Sorry, the different representations here.
Yeah.
Speaking about the whole number of patients admitted, and then outlining them, the gender distribution, and then the outcome. Were they discharged? Did they die, or did they discharge themselves against medical advice? And then spoke about where the geographical distribution. That's those people that were admitted into ICU. Were they from the rural or the urban area? And then the time scale, the timeline between the first of April 2017 to 1st of March 2019, and then the duration of stay by age group. So how much, what age, the different ages, how much of them stayed more, the different time spent in the hospital. So it gave us that representation. And then also kind of patient they had, the age distribution. You find out, I mean, you can see that the spike is, I mean, the mean, more, I'm trying to relate it to your mean, median, and mode.
Yeah, the frequency.
The
So for under the
frequency.
age distribution, we're looking at the frequency. How often do you have people be within the age of 20, 40, 60, or 20 to 100
Yeah.
come into the
So,
hospital for treatment?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it spiked between 70, 60, 70, like the gradients going up to that and then kind of started sloping down.
Is it good?
That's what a layman can see here.
It's fine. It's fine. At least you can
Okay,
see something.
okay. I want to jump in. Do
Okay.
you know that I was that there could be an error in this place, because if you look at duration of stay by age group, what is
Yeah.
happening? Do you mean that we have 120 years old, because we have 20 interval, 40, 60, 80, 100? Why is this last this? I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying.
That's an outlier.
So,
It
what
doesn't
we're
it
trying
doesn't
to
happen all the
do
time. It's
is
an
just for
outlier.
you to see how the end product look like.
Mm-hmm.
And Sister Queen will address that if something's go wrong with your what you are working on in the
You can
process,
easily see.
you see what I want to use one like Nigerian language. You will see your mistake outside here. Am I right? Yeah, I don't know how to paraphrase that one. So that's also a skill of how do you analyze the dashboard, how do you bring insight, how do you write a good report on this, how do you advise the government, how do you advise all of that. So let's have 2 or 3 more before you now go to the last slide, Abby.
Yeah, let's have 2 or 3 more. Then I'll just explain the visualization and we'll move to the next slide.
Okay,
Actually,
let
Madam,
me
first
call on
want
them.
to
Sister
actually,
Favor, we have not heard your
okay.
voice, and Sister Joy. Oh, you can go
okay,
ahead, but sorry.
okay. If you compare the average duration of stay, that is the second chart to the last one to the right. Looking at the average duration of stay, you see it's a bit steady somehow, around the 6 level mark. Looking at the various ages, 20 to 40, 60 to 80, before you begin to record some spikes in different ages. So yes, one could see that, yeah, it falls within that range. And also for the ICU, the average duration being 4, it fluctuates. Initially, it grows to 23 thereabout, and there's a spike and begin to normalize again towards the later. So I think that's where they got the average of 6 and 4 from.
Mm. So I think we're waiting for 2 more people to speak.
Hello.
Yes, I
So
want
this
to
is
talk
Joy.
about
Can
okay.
I speak? Okay. Thank
Yes, you're
you,
not so
Sister
audible,
Queen.
please.
And I'm not audible. I
Yeah.
don't know now. Well, sorry about that. I'm trying to scream. I'm just trying to um, look at it in a different dimension to as to what this result could mean. I
Okay.
don't know if that's yes. So I'm saying that okay, looking at the gender distribution, more males are usually admitted as compared to females. Maybe I may not be wrong to say the females are more of the stronger, gender. I'm not being stereotyped, but you could say whatever, you could give a different analysis to interpretation to it. And it's good to know that the number of discharges, if this is a real life hospital analysis, is more than the death and what's the other one now? I don't know what DAMA is, but at least it's
Discharge
something
against
that
medical
is,
advice.
yes, so it's something that is welcoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the geographic distribution, you see, more people, less people in the villages or rural areas go to the hospitals than the urban. You understand? I think it's
Mm-hmm.
more, I may want to relate it to maybe the lifestyle, the hills, those things that helps with the nature around there and things. So it may be a kind of pointer to say, I think you need to go get your next mortgage in that countryside, you know. So, types of admission, emergency, or outpatient department. So the emergencies are high. And I think that will just maybe, I mean, want to relate it to all of those bottlenecks with you call the GP and they are giving you appointments for whatever year, like you cited the woman with endometriosis 1 year. People will just want to say, oh, I've got an emergency, and you understand. And of course, it's not, I don't think those details would be putting into account as to what type of illness, and so they are in this particular analysis is only stating, was it an emergency, was it OPD? So that guy who needed an urgent treatment because he or she does not want to stay in the waiting list may just be one of these. And I think these are just some pointers as to how well the hospital is doing, and also encourage lifestyle changes. Thank you.
Okay. I think that's everybody.
Hold on. Have you ever about okay? We have about Sister Ine. What about Sister Olubumi and Sister Favor?
I spoke
Yeah.
after you. It was me that
No,
spoke
no.
after you.
I said you spoken. I've not heard from Sister Favor and Sister John. Unless since I'm the admin, I'll just remove everybody. I'm only
Okay.
joking. Yeah, because just wanted us to. This is part of the master class because we are going to do the practical side, building the data, cleaning everything next week. We just felt that this is a dashboard, this is an end product, right? How can, because another skill is how do you analyze what you have? I think I and Brother Shei, you were talking some times ago where you will build something, they will now give you questions, tough question, analyze it. And actually, this simple thing that appears simple can help a country to plan for the next 100 years. Because, for instance, I hope I'm not dropping the gun. I saw emergency and outpatients. So if we have emergency very high, it means that we need to expand the space for the patient. For me, if I'm the CMO, I will ask myself, what is the nature of the cases that
Emergency.
making patients like that? Is it COVID? Is it that? Maybe we need to employ more people in that area. All of that. And again, the age bracket is between 40 to 80. This can fetch some people promotion in their job. I believe again, the domain expert Sister Queen is talking about also comes here. So, but please, I want everybody to have input, because one of the things I've learned is that everybody see things in the diverse ways. I believe to bring diversity to, diversity of what we're normally talking the world system. The diversity always brings the deals to it, all of that. So, over to you, Sister Queen.
Okay. Thank you, everybody,
Okay,
for your
I'm trying
contribution.
to say something.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, so I think the first thing I observed was that the data was well, like, visualized. Yes, like at a glance, you can easily like pick important details. So
Exactly.
So I think I can say that probably the data analyst has done a good job, because like even someone that doesn't have any understanding of data can easily like pick differences or pick important details from the visualization. And just like everybody has said, like obviously the male is more than the females. There's a high rate of emergencies. And we'll see that even though the duration of ICU is not as high as the duration of stay, but we can easily pick that probably due to the high emergency rates, a lot of people have to go into ICU, because it's also like quite high, even though it's not as high as the duration of, so obviously, so there was also a high rate of well-being after getting to the ICU, but they still have to like stay in the normal wards, because we can see a high rate of discharge also. Not many people died. So basically that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am very, very grateful for your insights. In fact, guys, you've lectured me. So, I like the point that you drew out about the visualization, being able to look at the visualization and grasp the important details at a glance. That is a very, very essential skill for any data analyst. You must, like, your visualization should be this. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but once the business decision makers, because those people don't have time for all the long stories, they just want to be able to look, okay, this is what you're saying, this is what you're saying, okay, what do we do about this? What's the next line of action? You understand? What are you recommending? So this is very important. And if you notice the colors, they are suitable for people that are likely to be colorblind, that can't tell the difference between green and red. So the colors used in the visualization took account of that. And as a data analyst, you should be able to use your colors, understand the meaning of your colors. You don't want to use colors that are too bright, that would just be a distraction, or use the wrong color. Like for death now, ideally, the death under outcomes, the death should be red. But because not some people are colorblind, they cannot differentiate red. You have to use a color that is slightly closer to red, that shows that okay, this is not this is bad. You understand? In some visualizations, you see the usage of blue and gray, where blue can represent good and gray is representing bad. I don't know if you get what I mean. Please, can
Yes, we
somebody
Yep.
can.
Yep.
Okay. So this visualization basically now, say your hospital comes to you and they're asking, okay, we want to understand our patient's admission. How are we doing? We want to know our performance. Your data is not going to come like this, trust me. I don't know if you've seen data in an Excel sheet with thousands of rows. God help you, you work somewhere, you work with the NHS or a very big healthcare organization that collects numerous data. You understand? You will have a lot of data to work with. You get. And this data may not even be, the data may not be from one source. You might need to collect it from different sources. You understand? So here now, this data analyst has taken their time to show the key metrics here. So that's the key performance index. You want to know, you want to see, okay, how many patients have come to your practice within a particular time frame. And that's where you see the date here. You understand? Based on the quality, on the efficiency of your service delivery, how long do people stay in your do people stay, sorry, how long do people stay in admission? What is the how long do people stay in your intensive care units? So I in your normal in your data, this average is a measure. You understand? So you would have you will have it as a number. So you have to now, you cannot say, oh, the total duration of stay. It should be calculating everybody's duration of stay. And it will not really give you the insight you want. So that is why you now have to bring it down to the average. You understand? So you have to look at the measure you want to use to represent your data. Sometimes total may not work. You might need to look at average. At other times, you might want to use the counts. That's like the frequency. You may want to use the count. You may want to look at the minimum. You may want to look at the maximum. So here now, instead of coming to say, oh, what, like here we use the total number of patients. In this place, we're looking at the average duration of stay. Like, so looking at the average here now is that saying, okay, give or take. So we may have people that may stay for less than 6 days. We may have people that may stay for greater than 6 days, but the average we have is 6. So you are giving insights. You've brought out a useful measure there for your stakeholders to see. Also, in the intensive care units, we may have people that may require to stay for less than 2 days. Maybe they just have one minor procedure, or they have a procedure that may require them to stay longer than 4 days. but you're telling your stakeholders that IBAD as IBAD, the average we get is 4 days or 4. Yeah. Yeah. So we look at the gender distribution. If you notice, the gender distribution is represented in percentage. That is that's another measure. You understand? You don't want to come and say, oh, we have maybe 670 something males, or we have 700 and something females. You want your stakeholders to be able to understand what you're saying. You can give the actual number here, but they may not be able to grasp the whole picture. So representing your values in percentage will help them understand better. You understand? Because if you put a number there, the number might just appear very high and we'll be looking as if, oh, there's a big problem. But when you represent it in percentages, it gives, okay, this is the percentage. It helps them to better understand the information you're trying to pass. And same applies here for the outcome, say 8.76%. For some people, despite having a discharge rate of 84.88%, that death rate may still be high for them, and they may be looking to reduce the death rate. And they may query you, okay, could we understand what is making, how do we reduce this death rate? What made our death rate? Why is the death rate? To them, this death rate may be high. So they may query you for that. Okay, could you further give us more insight into this death rate? So then you have to go back again and do more analysis. Okay, what is causing the deaths? Why is the death rate this high? How can we reduce the death rate? Until you know what is causing the death rate. Maybe it's terminal illnesses, or maybe the patient was misdiagnosed. You understand? You will not be able to provide solutions to reducing the death rate. You get. So why do we have people discharging themselves against medical advice? Could it be that they wanted a second opinion? Could it be that they were not satisfied with the diagnosis the hospital provided? Because this outcome can also be used to understand how patients perceive that particular care provider. So the geographic distribution here, we want to know where our patients are coming from. Oh, we have this number of patients. Where are they coming from? Are they coming from the city? Are they coming from the urban area? So I would say that to the organization, these are the metrics that they measure their own performance by in terms of patient admission. It may be different for another organization. These metrics may change in fact, most of them will change if we have to look at another, if we have to change our focus from patient admission to something else. You understand? Then the type of admission here already says, okay, so the kind of admission that this practice takes are emergency admissions and outpatient admissions. And then we come to the duration of stay by age group. We want to know, okay, so of all these are patients, what are the age groups that we have? How does their age group influence their duration of stay? Do they recover quickly? Do they recover slowly? I don't know if I'm making sense at all. And then the
Yes, you are.
the age distribution. So how often do these people come in? That's what I get from the age distribution. So thank you all, and I hope my insights from the dashboard was valuable to you. So
Yes, it was.
okay,
Thank you.
yeah. So
Yes,
here,
it was. Thank you.
okay. So here now we are looking at, okay, how do you get started with data analytics, healthcare and data analytics, or how do you get started as a healthcare data analyst? So you can acquire relevant education and training. You develop your technical skills. You know the skills that have been listed earlier. Where are you at in these skills? Have you acquired these skills before? And then you need to refresh or reskill or upskill yourself so that you can be efficient at the job you do. Then, as I say, practice makes perfect. The more you play with healthcare data sets or explore them, you get to see different aspects of the healthcare data and how they can be utilized and what type of analysis is required for you to explore them. Also, you need to stay up to date on healthcare regulations. I forgot to mention this when we're talking about data management. There is the GDPR. You need to know how to handle data so that you do not leak people's private information that can cause you to be sued or your organization to be sued and bring harm to the patients. Then you connect with healthcare professionals. From understanding the challenges that healthcare professionals face in their organizations, you can think of a way to use data to analyze or bring insights to provide solutions to those problems. Then there's participating in hackathons and competitions. Uh, that can be daunting, no lies. However, it's an avenue to learn. It's an avenue to learn. When I first started in my journey, I went for a hackathon and I was just there looking like this because I was lost. I did not understand what was going on. There were people with very high level skills, and I was just looking because I was just a beginner. I had just switched then, so I didn't know what was going on. But it was an avenue for me to learn how data could be used in different ways. You understand? So somebody can just pick data and like, okay, this is what is happening. Okay, let's build this, let's do that. And then they develop a software or build a solution or prefer a solution just from understanding the challenges that an organization is facing from their data. So you can also join healthcare analytics communities. Here you have professionals, like-minded professionals who you can reach out to for help, who also share their insights, like exchange knowledge to help you develop as a healthcare professional. Then you build your portfolio. Your portfolio will include projects, probably internship experience, and work experience. And even if you do not have the experience in the fields that you're transferring into, say data analytics or healthcare analytics that you're switching into, you also have skills that you've acquired in your recent or previous jobs. And these skills are transferable. It's true that employers want you to have certain skills, but then if you can tie the skills you have from your previous jobs, you understand the skills required of a data analyst, you build your technical skills, and then you tie your soft skills, show how you have used them previously, and bring them into um and show how they are relevant and how you can apply them in this new journey that you want to embark on. It also makes sense. It will also help you. Most people just look for people that are teachable, that they can teach. You understand? And some want you to have experience because they don't want to waste money training you. But either ways, you'll be um you'll be trained by them. But they just need to know that okay, you are learning and see the efforts that you've also put in towards this new career that you're pursuing. Then you can also seek internships or entry-level positions. They're great opportunities to learn and build your skills, then continuously learn and adapt. So that's the end of the class. We'll be touching on the practical side. You'll see how data is cleaned, how it's processed, how it's modeled to build that dashboard that we all just analyzed now. So thank you very, very much. If you have any questions, I look forward to answering them. Okay. I'll stop sharing my screen now. I see a lot of hands up. Who will go first? All right. Mr. Sean, please go first because your hand came up earlier.
Yeah, are you talking to me?
Yes, your hand has been
Yeah, I
up.
was saying that we did not keep to the time, so that our people not run away next
Oh
week. I'm
my
only joking,
God,
not
I'm so sorry.
next week, because some people came late. So, please, before we, please, can we thank our resource person? Let's just, whatever, let's just make her feel welcome. Let's just thank her in the comment section.
AI
We did not
way.
pay her
Thank
out. Let's
you.
just thank her so that she will come
My
next week.
pleasure.
I'm only joking. Yeah, yeah. Please, let's thank her. I will stop the recording. Okay, maybe some questions can be read. So please, let's we will leave about 8:30.
We have just
8:30.
three
We'll leave about
minutes.
8:30.
So
So we have 3 minutes to ask our question.
yeah.
And before we ask our question, next week is the practical perspective. What she's going to do next week, she's going to do everything step by step. What we just need to do is to follow her as she's doing it, not she's doing it herself, just what she's doing. And the last part, what she did today, we're going to criticize the results. She's going to come up with questions for what she has built and criticize it. Then she will not give us that same data set that she used. Will not give herself 2 days. I don't care whether people does not sleep coming. Will not give herself 48 hours. That's the data set, and use the same method sister have used, and there'll be prize for the first person who get it done. There'll be prize. I don't care whether some people does not sleep. But I just want to feel like all of us. So let me. Who have asked a question now? Okay. Sister Favor, please
Favor.
your question.
Okay, so I was just going to ask that, like, for
I
instance,
can't.
if I
We can't
want
hear
to,
your voice. Okay.
can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just going to ask that if I want to start like learning now, say Python for instance, is it? I don't know if it's platform you recommend now. Is what platform or where, like, what resource can I use to start learning?
I would say that you should go to Coursera. Coursera is actually very good for beginners. So you want to, I would suggest you just check out for Python for data analysis, because there are different things you can use Python for. So you want to streamline what you're looking for, because there's Python for machine learning, there's Python for software development and all. So you want to go for Python for data analysis. So it will just take you through how to use Python to analyze data. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I think
Thank you.
Brashia, I think I can see your answer that time. Your question, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Star Queen, for your time.
Welcome.
Already very grateful for those insights. Uh,
Welcome.
my question is got to do with getting the data
Mm-hmm.
from Earth-related data,
Mm-hmm.
how easy it is. And those data, like you said, most data are unclean. Are those data already managed by big data guys and making them clean for people to work with, or will be left with the option to clean them up before utilizing them?
Okay.
And the second one is you did mention Tableau and Power BI.
Mm-hmm.
How easy it is to get a Tableau um, uh,
The
for the
Tableau.
purpose of, yeah, for the purpose of cleaning your data and also data visualization compared to
Okay.
Power BI.
Okay. So you can download Tableau desktop.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a free version. I recently downloaded it. I could send the link I will send you a video from YouTube so that you would it will guide you on how to download it. You
Thanks.
understand?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And
Okay.
you were asking how to get data sources. Okay. So considering that you are not in, I want to assume that you're not currently working in a healthcare organization, right?
Yes, I'm not.
Okay, so there are other open sources that you can get your data from, like Kaggle. So, you can get your data from Kaggle. You can get your data from the NHS. Yeah, NHS also gives data. You can get your data from NHS. Just enter it into Google. That you have to define the kind of data that you want. just probably maybe you want patient admission data, cost reduction data, you understand, for hospitals. So when you do that, Google will help you. You can also type into your chat GPT that you need data sets for the purpose that you need it for. And ChatGPT will give you several links to the data sets that you want.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So
You're welcome.
so thank you. So you got everybody is going to do something different tonight. So in one word, what do you with all the everybody learned tonight? I want to see everybody's stuff before we end. I want sometime like Thomas, just wanted to see whether people gain from it. So please just put in chat what do you learn tonight, if it's data cleaning, if it's all of that, before we end the event. So yeah, no, insightful is fine. What do people learn? Is it data cleaning or
What specific thing did you take away, please?
yeah, take away.
What specific knowledge did you go
Yeah,
away?
yes.
What's new to you?
Yeah, that's that.
Data reporting and management. Thank you.
Okay.
Who's next?
Thank you very Steiner, we don't want insight. Insight and insightful. We don't. Insight and insightful is not data or something. We want something. Maybe data cleaning. Maybe the age for dashboard. All of that. The salary. I like that. I like that part. You see now, I will not be learning data analytics in the later like this. I will not go and chop money. That's what I'm talking about.
It's all about the money.
Who does that? So I've not heard from Mr. Joy. I've not heard from Mr. Favor. Can you imagine? Our sisters are doing more than us here in this place.
I'm
So
dropping message in group chat, but for some reason I'm not seeing every other person's response. Sorry.
Okay. Just type it. I will tell you whatever. I've seen salary. I've seen the role of importance of a healthcare analyst, data presentation in a format that is acceptable, visualization. So just type your own. So although I would have loved
that said role and importance of healthcare
cons.
analyst.
Okay.
Oh, you want to hear about the cons of the job?
So next week we'll learn about that. So I just want to thank everybody. Yeah, it's very late in the night that all of us come out to really learn. That's really touched us a little bit. So thank you very much. Please, the next week is practical. What I would suggest everybody should do next week: bring your notepad. I'm not talking about iPhone or something. Read notebook and your biro, and ready to query this assistant. Why do you press this button? Why do you do that? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? You clean data. Why do you use control format something? All of that. So I just want us to get this thing, and I want to tell you, this thing is not difficult. You can get it. You can. There's nothing difficult. I'm happy that all of us are Christians, right? There's nothing difficult. All you can figure this thing out. We can figure, and because where they are taking the full show of work to, I want to shock us. Robots are coming. I was at Edinburgh 2 days ago, and they're talking about how do we make Scotland a robotic nation. And what they are discussing there, I cannot. If I don't want to put all of us afraid, but part of what's going to bring robots is what we are doing. And we should not say that, oh, why are they bringing robots? Why are they bringing all this AI? We should not be antagonism. We should be happy to be part of who create those things. If we know how to use the data analytics stuff, we collect the salary, maybe, and the salary, I think salary is something can we collect £100,000. I saw one £100,000, my eye clear. My eye. So if we build ourselves, all of that, and I would suggest that once we learn this stuff, just go like a hungry lion to go and be hunting more data. Just be practicing and be building what we call your profile. There's what we call GitHub. Whatever you do, put it there. Shout about yourself. Maybe screenshot the code you use, put it on LinkedIn. I just analyze one data in West Africa.
Sorry to cut it short. See, you're overwhelming them, please, please. GitHub, all of those things will come at a later time. It's a gradual process. Okay. If you even still have your codes on your computer, it's still okay. Or you save it to your cloud on your computer, it's still fine. Yeah, because GitHub is not something you just jump into. You have to learn how to use GitHub you understand how to do your version control and all of those things. So let's take it one step after the other, please. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. So we need to go now. I
All
just pray
right.
that
Thank you so
sister,
much.
thank
I'm
you
so
for the
grateful
room.
for.
Thank you for, yeah.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so
All right.
much,
Good night.
Queen. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good night.